Now, Sports Talk with Brodes. Here's Hunter Brody.
Hey guys, as you know, every Wednesday I run a Hump Day giveaway over on my Twitter page at Brodes81. At the top of my profile, there is a pinned tweet. This week, we're giving away a beautiful Phillies book bag. It is magnificent, so make sure you do that. Also, if you're new, subscribe to the channel. We break down all Phillies games, Sixers, Flyers, Eagles, you name it, Philadelphia sports content all day long. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. And also comment down below your thoughts. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. What is going on, everyone? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Brodes. I cannot believe what I just watched. That was a very emotional baseball game. Bryce Harper gets drilled with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball in the fucking face. And then the next pitch, Didi Gregorius gets drilled in the back. It's absolute bush league out of Cabrera. What went down behind the dish as well with the blue to not allow Joe Girardi to voice his frustration the way that he deserved to. Come on, this is Bryce Harper. This isn't Andrew Knapp. This isn't Brad Miller. This isn't Nick Maton. This is Bryce Harper who's tearing the cover off the ball. You have to allow the manager to get all pissed off, to get in your face, and to start throwing all sorts of, points out of the game. Like, get him the hell out of here. Get this pitcher out of here. You got to allow him to show that type of emotion because what you just witnessed was absolutely pathetic. Did I think he did it on purpose? Absolutely not. I thought he just, maybe got a little too nervous. Here comes Bryce Harper. It's not like he hasn't thrown any innings in this league whatsoever. Do I think he meant to hit Bryce Harper in the nose? No, I really don't think he meant that. I don't know how you slip up that badly. I don't know how you miss your spot that horrendously. But you could tell in his raw, natural reaction that he was very upset with himself and he was bothered and couldn't believe what happened. But it happened. Here's why Joe Girardi freaked out the way that he did, and he was pretty vocal about it in the post-game presser, and I couldn't agree more. You just had a man go out there throwing those type of pitches. Get him out of the game. You want to talk about player safety, get him out of the game. For you to warn both benches and to keep him in there still, that's where you're losing me, all right? And I know that there's this new 3-batter rule, but that gets thrown out the window when you're talking about a man getting hit in the face with 97 mile per hour behind it. I don't give a damn about a 3-batter rule. Here's what I'm not going to do, though. I'm not going to give you that old school bullshit of go drill Goldschmidt in the face. Go hit Nolan Arenado up high. I don't play that game. That's old school baseball. That's the way it used to be played. I don't care about that. And I have the same philosophy with all the moron Flyers fans out there that want 70s hockey back, where all you want to do is punch people in the face. You know who doesn't just punch people in the face? The Pittsburgh Penguins. Do you know who wins Stanley Cups? The Pittsburgh Penguins. There's moments and there's situations to be tough, and there's times to send a certain message. And some might say, well, this is the perfect time. You know what I care about, though? You can worry about hitting Nolan Arenado. I want to win fucking baseball games. I want to win. I care about winning. So you can focus all you want about the side games and the side stories and who we need to hit and what that does for the other team. You can worry about that. I want to win baseball games. So that's what I care about. And what did this team do? They rallied, and Andrew McCutchen got a big hit. This is after Vince Velasquez allowed, of course, O'Neill to hit a home run. Who else hit a bomb for them? Goldie hit a home run. You're down 3-1. Thank the Lord Brad Miller hit a 2-run bomb. Took advantage of a leadoff walk in that inning. Now, it took them 2 outs to finally produce some sort of runs. But if you walk the leadoff batter of an inning, eventually it's going to come back to bite you on your ass. Brad Miller, bang, what do you know? It's 3-3. And after this whole debacle went down, Andrew McCutchen gets a big hit. Didi Gregorius steps up to the plate, and he gets a sac fly to make it a 5-3 game. Your bullpen was stellar after Vince Velasquez, whether it was Brandon Kintzler, you had Connor Brogdon come in, Jose Alvarado, Coonrod. They gave Coonrod a chance, and we just talked about how you have to learn the identity of some of these bullpen pitchers and what they are going to be, and I'm a little afraid of Coonrod right now. I'd probably give him a time to rest or something. Give him time to think about things, to process things. They threw him right back into the fire. Keep in mind, no Joe Girardi, so maybe the decision-making would have been different if he was the one at the helm making those decisions and picking up the phone and, telling what to say on the phone. Picking up, hey, what are we doing here? Maybe Joe Girardi puts in a different word. Hector Neris, 0-2 splitter for the second out of that ninth, though. Ew, filthy. Your bullpen came up big. So I'm bringing this up because what I witnessed was a team rally, a team be sparked, a team make a statement to one another after losing a player that's playing at an MVP level and the franchise of your team. Now, you did have, and I guess I'll play the clip for you because it's actually pretty easy to do. You heard Bryce Harper on his Instagram speak after the game. So this is what he said on his own Instagram post-game. Here we go.
What up, everybody? Bryce Harper here. Everything feels good. Everything came back good. CT, all that kind of stuff. So, face is still there. So, we're all good. See you guys soon.
The fact that this man got up and just went to the dugout and went into the clubhouse, are you kidding me? You're talking about 97 chin music. Absolutely ridiculous. Did it hit the chin? I think they got a little lucky on where it hit. It still clearly did some damage, and it's very scary, and it's brutal to go through. But it did seem like maybe it nicked the nose instead of actually purely hitting the nose, which could have been way different and way worse. And we could be talking about possibly the nose being on the side of the cheek if it squared it up a little bit better. So I guess if you're looking at this more with a optimistic view, it could have been way worse when it got up there. But with Didi Gregorius, he's probably going to have to go through some testing. And it actually looked like in this game he had a couple really nice defensive plays when it comes to turning two. He gets the ball, he runs the second base, looks like some good whip with the arm action as well. So as soon as Didi seems to be getting a little bit more comfortable out there defensively, which you could tell that he's very upset with himself, he's very furious. There's times where he wants to throw his glove and spike his glove at the dirt as if he's Rob Gronkowski in the Super Bowl after Tom Brady passes him his 4th touchdown pass of the night and they win their 3,000th Super Bowl. You saw that a few games ago, that Didi was that furious. Well, it looked pretty clean out there for Didi, and now here he is just getting drilled. What is Cabrera doing? Please, somebody explain to me how it could be that brutal. I just can't comprehend it. And I hate how everything else went down as well, Like Joe Girardi, good for him to show that fire. He needed that. He needed to get it out there. He needed to step up, and he was pissed. And when you look at the opposing manager screaming at Joe, he had no business screaming at Joe because Joe had every right to lose his cool, spit in the face of the manager, show off that body language, throw the "you're out of here" sign, whether he's pointing to the pitcher. Get out of here, whether he's doing that or not. Shut up over there. At the same time, you're going to respect your guys. Let's flip the roles. Let's say there's a manager on the other side screaming at Aaron Nola, well, maybe that's a little too high of a player in your rotation. So let's say someone's screaming at Connor Brogdon or somebody's screaming at a Spencer Howard. You don't think Joe Girardi is going to have his players back? So at the same time, I somewhat understand why, if you're on the opposing side of your manager, Joe, shut up, get back to your dugout. I wonder what this means, though, for tomorrow's game. Our team's going to react. Are the Phillies going to make that type of noise early on and peg someone? Here's the thing, though. You know right away when you give up your lineup cards for tomorrow's action, instantly the warnings are going to be out there where, are you going to sacrifice hitting somebody in the thigh with a hard pitch to lose one of your pitchers? You have Aaron Nola on the mound. And this goes back to that old school baseball mindset is, you got to hit them with all costs, no matter what, hit them and pay the consequences. Well, I think I want Aaron Nola on the mound. Don't give me that garbage. Don't lose Aaron Nola and mess with Aaron Nola because you want to hit Goldschmidt. You know what you do, Nola? Strike his ass out 3 times. Get him to ground out to second base. That's what I care about way more than drilling these guys. You know, like I never understood that. That's me personally. I think baseball is the dumbest thing in the world when it comes to that type of retaliation. Imagine scoring a goal in hockey. I guess it's a little different because now I'm talking about the celebration side of things, but it makes no sense that one guy has a ball that can just beam people, and I never understood the reaction. I just think the reactions in baseball and how it's all played out is one of the most illogical things I've ever seen in my life. Strike out Goldschmidt. Yeah, and you saw Goldie that he was backing off the plate a little bit because he knew that he was going to get hit. And it never happened. Maybe that plays a psyche game. Is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming? While they're up to the plate thinking, is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming? And it's not. It's going to be normal pitches, but that plays a role in the way that they're thinking up there at the dish because they know in the back of their mind, they're thinking, I'm going to get hit at some point. And I'm sure they would wear it if it's just a good bump and bruise on the hip and you move it and you take first base. But to me, that's losing baseball to a degree. You're putting your team in a worse situation. Now, the Cardinals put your team in a worse situation. Sure, I get that. At the same time, this is sports. Unfortunate things happen. This falls into the category of unfortunate things. The way I see it is just because that happened, I'm not taking out Nolan Arenado. Sorry, that's the way my brain works. I'm sure that's a very unpopular opinion because the cool thing to do would be screaming about throwing it in the throat of Goldschmidt and Nolan. But to me, I don't operate that way. Go beat them. Go beat them. Beat them. That is what is more effective to me. You hit someone with 99 or you win a baseball game, win the baseball game, grab your bats and move on. Get out of St. Louis, put together a series win in a 4-game set. Please, take 3 of 4, move the fuck on, and let's go. All right, take that attitude, take that edge that you're going to get, all that boiled emotion that should be there. I want you to feel that way, right? I want you to be pissed off. I want this to eat you alive. I want every single player in a Phillies uniform to be staring at their ceiling all night long and not having that play out of their head because they know how crucial of a moment that really is and how much that should disturb you. It should make you feel like there's a bunch of disgust in your stomach. I want you to feel that type of pain in a good way, bottled up, so then you go out on the field and you execute and you have that edge. That sense of urgency is stronger. You're playing with more of an attitude. Play with more of an attitude. I want you to take all of those emotions and instead of just throwing it towards another player, apply it to your own game so that when you're at the plate, you're focused a little bit more on a 2-2 count, on a 1-2 count. This offense has stunk for the most part heading into where they are right now in this season. There's a reason why they're 500 and they're playing 500 baseball. They have not been consistent enough. Put that stress and put all that pressure and put all of these emotions into playing a better brand of baseball. So when you're up at the plate, you are more intensely worrying about getting that hit, earning that walk, working the pitcher instead of anything else. All that side noise, all that side garbage. You know, I'm really fascinated how it plays out there because Coonrod, he was pissed. After the 8th inning, he started yapping away at the Cardinals dugout, and you saw Andrew Knapp there. I think Bamboo Brad was another one because he went into the dugout, and then he came out of the dugout, went back on the steps. That stuff I'm cool with. Look, I'm okay with that style of things, like, you know, hey, screaming at one another, coming back out of the dugout, and you can see that it's visible, and you're aware, and you're acknowledging it, and it's real that your team is not happy with what happened. I'm okay with that side of it too. I think there's a line. I don't want them to cross the line, but I'm cool with letting them know, yo, that ain't all right. Let them know. And then move on. Beat their ass, though. Just beat their ass. Wash your hands afterwards. Beat their ass. And then you move on to the next series, and you just take care of business, and you roll forward with that. So ultimately, I guess I'm kind of taking it as, here's my optimistic view on it. This team needed a kick in the ass, right? I mean, I talked about just kicking St. Louis's ass, but I'm talking about this team in general. You win, you lose, you win, you lose, you win, you lose. It was something of similar to since game 4 and 5 of the season was the last time they won back-to-back games. So this isn't what anybody wanted. Nobody wanted this in a million years. This happened, though. How do you respond from this type of adversity? Is this something that you can look at as somewhat of, not so much like a full-on season changer, because there's 162 games, and you could probably look back at 10, 12, 13, 14 very impactful games to a season, and something that made a 10-game win streak occur, or something that made an 8-game losing streak occur, or, there's so many things you can look back at after 162 when the season's over and be like, now that you take a few steps back, that was more important than we thought in that moment. Or, wow, that at-bat in the 5th inning, that was crucial, and that sparked a 6-run 5th inning, and then you went on and won 8 games straight. That was very valuable. That was very important. Nobody wants it to be Bryce Harper getting hit with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball to the nose, but this is maybe the course that has been given to the Phillies team this year. How are you going to respond? What is your statement going to be? And as a clubhouse, as a unit, as a family, how are you going to really apply this, right? Like, that's what I'm really fascinated by. You have Aaron Nola on the mound tomorrow in an afternoon game. Look, you don't even have to wait until 7 o'clock or 7:30 to play. It's quick. It's a quick turnaround. That makes it even better for me. What do you got? What are you going to do? Just crazy, man. In the 6th inning, it was a tied game. So after that all went down, I love the fact that Andrew McCutchen had a nice at-bat. This dude has been struggling. He finds his way back into the lineup. He needed it so bad. I mean, it was so brutal. And I also thought he had another at-bat later in the game where he had 2 really good hacks, like very fantastic-looking hacks for the Andrew McCutchen that we have seen this point. I mean, you're talking about Babe Ruth swing, Mike Trout swing, Mookie Betts' swing, Cody Bellinger when he was on his tear type of swing. That's how great it looked at Andrew McCutchen. Now, foul tip, didn't square it up perfectly, but I'm just talking about the pure cut, the pure motion, the fundamentals of the swing, and the confidence of the swing as well. Maybe because he got that RBI, that has somewhat dominoed into him having a little bit more swag up at the plate, and that was nice to see. I don't know what that means. I'm just looking for things to hold on to out of Andrew McCutchen, but that was clearly such a crucial part of this baseball game, and same with Didi as well. You could have had more damage done in the 6th, possibly. This was when the Phillies took a 4-3 lead. It wasn't 5-3 yet, but Maton got robbed by Arenado, and I'm thinking, dude, that's a welcome to the MLB, kid. That's a welcome to, hey, you're playing Nolan Arenado now. This isn't some AAA taxi squad stuff out at the wherever the hell they are. This is more of a Nolan Arenado, good luck. You're going to have to hit better than that. Although I will say, I think Nick Maton actually matched a really solid, successful defensive play in the 7th inning when Connor Brogdon was up on the mound, and it was a good outing for him, for sure. Good outing. You had some nice pitches involved, but Nick Maton over at second base, full extension on an outstanding dive, gets up, throws it to Rhys Hoskins for a big out in that 7th inning. So he kind of matched Nolan Arenado's intensity out there on the field late in a crucial moment. Good for Nick Maton. There's something to be said about the way that he plays. I really want to see him in center field at this point. I guess Gene Segura has to come back before I make that type of assessment. But when that is the case, Odubel Herrera continuing to struggle, I would have liked for him to at least been able to get a hit or two at this point. I'll say this again. I do feel more comfortable with him out in the field than I did with any center fielder to this point. So you're going to probably lose production defensively if Nick Maton plays center field and you just throw him into the fire. But look, you got like .090 or something similar. Ricky Bowe, he was hilarious, man, all night long. After every single time Odubel Herrera didn't get a hit, he tweeted out another statistic about it. So let me see what the last one was for the last tweet he had. 090 was 1 hour ago. 090. So every time the batting average of the center fielder was what it was, just continue to go down. It was absolutely wild. All right, before we get to the phone lines and before we get to the Anytime Hotline, which is the same exact thing, so I have no idea why I said it that way, DeSimone Jewelers is the best place I've ever been to. My fiance always has a smile on her face, and you know what they say? Happy wife, happy life. Now, she's not my wife yet, but soon to be. Next summer, we're getting married. The engagement ring it makes her the happiest person in the world, and that's all thanks to DeSimone Jewelers. They're a family-owned business with over 40 years of experience, and they moved from Jewelers Row to Haddonfield, New Jersey. They do not use sale tactics. They sit you down, and they educate you, and they treat you like family. That's the best part about it. You walk in, yo, Brodes, what's going on, man? It's beautiful. DeSimone Jewelers customize and manufacture every single ring they make on location, and because of that, they're able to beat competitors' prices. I had one of my buddies go somewhere, get an engagement ring. I was like, we were kind of talking, shooting the shop a little bit. Hey, what'd you spend on that? We have that type of relationship. Whoa, what? What? No. Come see my friends at DeSimone Jewelers. What do? I'm talking half the price, bigger the diamond. I've sent so many family members and friends in their direction, and I constantly get back the same reaction. Brodes, they're unbelievable. You'll know exactly what I mean when you go in there and you tell them that Brodes sent you. All right, so let's hop on over to, by the way, their information is down below in the description. Let's head on over to the Anytime Hotline and hear your thoughts on this game.
Got the job done. I feel like they could have scored more runs in like the 6th and 7th inning when they had the chance to really break it open, but they got the win, I guess. And Bryce Harper, hope he's okay. I mean, how is that guy not thrown out of the game? Right when he hits him in the face, that guy should get the warning. I don't care if it's intentional or unintentional. You hit a guy in the face, and then the second one wasn't even close to. I mean, Joe Girardi fired him up. I love that at Joe Girardi. Vince Velasquez should never step foot on the field again for the Philadelphia Phillies. Got to get rid of him like Nick Pivetta. Nick Pivetta is doing better than Vince Velasquez. I mean, Vinny Velo, when he tops, he doesn't. His velo is 92. Get rid of him. Good one for the Phillies.
Good points. All right, a lot to touch on. So I will say about the whole warning thing, if Joe Girardi's big thing is player safety, which is what he stressed after the game, I guess it's very hypocritical then to say that only one team deserves to get some sort of punishment and to get some sort of warning, because if you're worried about, let's be realistic, player safety as a whole, you're worried about your team, well then the Blues should be worried about your team responding and pegging one of their players, where if your motto and what you want to emphasize is player safety, well then you can't have it both ways where you would want your team to still be able to peg their player. That's player safety as well, So if you want it that way where your key motor here and what you want to make sure is focused is I am worried about my players, Didi Gregorius, Bryce Harper. Fine, I'm with you with that. That's why Cabrera should have been kicked out of the game, because I'm worried about my players. With that being said, to a degree, it would only make sense then if you're worried about to make sure that the players are in the best possible position, you got to warn both teams, so then your Philadelphia Phillies pitcher can't just attack their hitters and then their team be just as upset as you are about player safety, if that makes sense, right? So 2 wrongs don't always necessarily make a right. We've heard that since we were 3 years old, and that's kind of my feelings on this. And once again, I do feel like that's maybe going to be the outlier. I guess I'd be shocked. I'm curious to hear your comments down below in the comment section, but that's the way I feel on it for sure. This was a big moment for Joe Girardi, though, to show that type of emotion and passion. There's been a lot of, and there's a big difference between how the fan base feels and how the clubhouse feels. I don't think the clubhouse ever looked at Joe Girardi the same way as Phillies Twitter, let's say. But, there has been some decisions that haven't worked out, and it hasn't been the sharpest out of Joe Girardi to this point. So the fact that you had such a crucial moment for him, it's like watching your father stand up for you. It's like being a boyfriend that's standing up for their girlfriend. If you're somewhere and you're at a bar and let's say someone's getting in the face of your girlfriend and her friend, you step in, and it's that powerful moment of stepping in front and being a leader and making sure that you stand up for your guys, you stand up for your girlfriend, you stand up for her friends. It's that type of powerful move where, I do think that that's big. You haven't had that yet for Joe Girardi. Gabe Kapler tried to do it in years past, and it seemed fake. It seemed forced. It seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. He was a robot going through the motions, staring at the dirt. We all know the GIF. If you're using Twitter and you type in Gabe Kapler during the GIFs, it's one of the first ones that comes up where he's looking at the ump, he's looking at the ground, he's moving around like a robot. Oh, he's got no idea what to say because he just doesn't know what he's doing out there. But Joe Girardi, though, I think that with this clubhouse, that was something huge for maybe this team to grab onto for some sort of support. And last, you mentioned Vinny V. Because everything else went down, Vinny V somewhat sliding through the radar. The fact that this guy continues to get starts, you're talking about having over 100 starts. And before the game even started, Joe Girardi mentioned, I just praised him. I'm going to criticize him a little bit. If he does have a chance, if he does have a good start, he's going to have another chance to get starts. Why? Why are we still going through this garbage with Vince Velasquez? Don't we have enough information? Seriously. Don't we have enough data? He stinks. He's not good. He is trash. He doesn't know how to keep his pitch count low. He's not efficient. He can't get through innings. He's not good. 100+ starts. It took 100+ starts for them to finally make that assessment on him. And they're still not even done it yet. He's still probably going to get another start. Give me trash can Matt Moore. Why? Not because he's better than Vince Velasquez. Quite frankly, I think Matt Moore sucks more than Vince Velasquez. I'm done with Vince Velasquez. Done. 4 1/3, 3 earned runs, 75 pitches, 2 home runs. Dude, you're not capable of being a starter. Am I mad at him? I don't even know if I'm mad at him. He doesn't have it. I'm just mad that this franchise, again, how much more do you need to see? I mean, the more I sit here and I try and process it, it makes my toes curl because I don't get it. I don't get how you can consistently call his number and think that it's going to change. If he has a good outing, maybe he could be. No! He's not a starter. No. He's nothing is what he is. He's nothing. And in terms of Nick Pivetta, he's nothing too. Don't get too sucked into this Nick Pivetta garbage either. All right? I don't want to hear about the New York Mets scoring 0 runs and him playing against Jake DeGrom and whatever the hell he said after the game. I'll look up. He goes 5 innings again. No, he had 7 strikeouts. Walked 3, 0 earned run. It was fine. That doesn't mean his 3 2/3 outing on April 17th against the White Sox, where he had 4 walks and 2 earned runs, doesn't matter. Against the Orioles in 6 innings, he allowed 4 earned runs, walked 3, and allowed 7 hits. When you played the Rays, allowed 2 hits in 5 innings, walked 4, didn't allow any earned runs, so that wasn't as bad. But come on, the Mariners, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 walks. That's a total of like 13 walks, 14 walks in a handful of games. Let's not act like Nick Pivetta is some absolute stud because he's giving you 5 innings. You know what he's doing? You're getting out of him what you want Chase Anderson to be. So if that's now where Nick Pivetta is, good job, Nick Pivetta. You fulfilled Chase Anderson role. We had expectation, and I'm not saying that that's not an important role. Every role is important. Look, we're struggling with your 4 and 5. That's fine. To acknowledge that that's better than what you have here, fine. You looked at Nick Pivetta, though, when he was here, top end of the rotation guy. All right, so when he's 5th starter and he's giving you what you expect out of Chase Anderson, while that is a role that you can see what it's like when you don't have it, let's not act like he's seriously beating the world on fire here or lighting the world on fire. It's not that way.
I'm happy that they won. I really am. But something still bothers me. And that's that when Bryce Harper, your superstar, your best player, gets pegged in the face, and then Didi Gregorius, one of the most beloved players and the nicest, sweetest players on the entire team, gets pegged in the back this like 1 pitch later. How is somebody not throwing hands? And I'm not saying go crazy and get a 10-game suspension for, beating someone's face off, but how is somebody not rushing the mound? Or something, teach them a lesson. You can't just allow them to just do that to some of your best players. Joe Girardi was the only one that looked like he gave a crap.
I disagree. I think the team cared. They just showed it in a different way because this is a new era of baseball, and this is a new style game, and Castellanos gets a 2-game suspension, however the game was, because he stared at somebody and he brought the benches together. It's just not how baseball is anymore. Like back in the day, sure, you would have saw fists fly, and there are times where the dugouts do end up meeting and whatnot, but I don't think it's fair to say this team didn't care. I think they did care, and they do care, and they showed it by winning the baseball game, their bullpen delivering. Every guy stepping up and making a play. Their defense delivering. Didi's defense. All right, you had defense being played. You had plays by Nick Maton being made. You had timely hits. You had sack flies. You scored more runs. You won the baseball game. They did it in a different way. They didn't do it in that sexy appeal way where the Phillies fan base just wants, because it's Philadelphia, want throwing hands. And if you work hard, that's more praise than actually winning. You know, like people like Aaron Rowan running into a wall and breaking his nose, more so that you'd rather have that than Bobby Abreu. You'd rather have that than a Manny Machado. That's this city. So that's the reaction that you want to see. What I want to, I want to win. I want to win. And I think this team still showed that they do care about Bryce Harper. They just do it in a way that isn't as aggressive as I'm throwing hands. You go back to a Castellanos sketch. What's more important? Doing that and throwing hands against the St. Louis Cardinals, and then in 2 days, it's all his history, and you're now playing games without some of your top players because they decided to throw punches, or in 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days down the road, wherever Bryce Harper is, but you have your players available and you try and gather more wins together, you know? Like, to me, I'd rather have that. I'd rather have my guys available.
A couple of the Cardinals need to get one right in the ribs. If they don't do that, I'll lose all respect for the Phillies.
I don't know if it needs to get to that level of losing all respect for the Phillies. You know, I'm not surprised that this is the reaction. I guess, like I said, I did feel like I was probably going to be the one that thinks this way when most don't. But, yeah, I guess I really don't have a problem with it because I want to see this team win. Now, I don't know, you know, they have flaws. Center field's a problem. Andrew McCutchen's still a problem. Left field's a problem. There's still a lot of problems. You don't have Gene Segura. Your 4 and 5's bad. Your bullpen hasn't been very strong all year. So, you know, I don't know how sustainable this ride really is of what happened tonight, because they're still a team that has a lot of problems, and they're still a team that isn't perfectly constructed. So they might lose baseball games, not a product of just Bryce Harper, because they were losing baseball games with Bryce Harper. They were 500 for a reason. They were going win-loss, win-loss, win-loss for a reason with Bryce Harper still in the lineup. So without him, you could still have that too, and it's not necessarily 100% correlated. It doesn't help. It doesn't help when he's not available, but who knows? Who knows how long he's even going to miss anyway, but yeah, I'm not happy. I'm very frustrated with it. I just want to see how this team plays moving forward. What type of team do we have here? When adversity strikes, how do you bounce back? How do you move forward? Who's going to set the tone? Are you all going to raise your level of play? Are you all going to take that next step in the right direction of getting away from this 500 baseball? Maybe this is something that gives you momentum to being a sharper version of yourselves. Before we head out of here, for some, the NFL Draft is the most exciting day of the season. For others, it's a chance to build on last year's success. Whether your team has the first pick of the last, DraftKings is bringing the excitement to you. DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports, is adding to the thrill by offering a free-to-enter draft pool this Thursday with $50,000 up for grabs. DraftKings free-to-play pools are easy to play. Just download the DraftKings app, go to pools, and choose from a wide variety of free contests for an opportunity to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code Brodes to enter the free draft pool with $50,000 in prizes up for grabs. That's code Brodes to get a free shot at $50,000 in total prizes, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com No. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Switch it up on me a little bit from some of the other ones. All right, thank you all so much for listening. We'll talk tomorrow. We got a big day tomorrow. Not only that 1 o'clock game after this crazy nut job of a 9-inning performance, but we also have the NFL Draft, so a lot on the table tomorrow. Thank you all so much for listening, and I will see you next time.